Important news for your safety tonight. A level 3 sex offender is moving into a North Central apartment complex. His new roommates, 9 other level 2 and level 3 sex offenders. 32-year-old Javon Miller was convicted of rape in 2004. That happened in Pierce County. He was released from prison last Wednesday and now will be living in the 1200 block of North Lincoln in Spokane. His new home and the people living in it were the subject of a KXOI4 special report last year. Our Caroline Rourke is live now with a look at why this is all possible to have so many sex offenders living under one roof. Caroline?
In September of last year, we introduced you to Kelly Cruz. He's the head of Cops West, and he's lived in West Central Spokane his whole life. And last year, he reached out to us to keep his neighborhood from becoming what he calls a dumping ground for sex offenders. Many of you ask us that same question on social media. Why does it seem as though so many sex offenders are released in our community? It could be in part because of a DOC policy called County of Origin. With exceptions, it releases some offenders to the county where they received their first felony conviction. As to why so many sex offenders are housed in West Central, there's an economic factor at play. And that's one of the concerns that Kelly Cruz brought to KXOI last year. Transition housing like this multi-unit complex in the 1200 block of North Lincoln that is home to at least 10 level 2 and level 3 sex offenders, now including Javon Miller. This home is monitored by a community corrections officer and there are rules put in place. But there's no state or Spokane city law that limits how many sex offenders can live under one roof. And when we spoke with him in September, Kelly had reached out to state lawmakers and local leaders to try to change that.
We have to dig our heels in and say, we're a community, we'll tolerate some of this, take some of our burden, but we're not going to be the dumping ground for sex offenders.
When the Department of Corrections explained the program to us in September, they said that housing arrangements like this help make offender monitoring more effective. Also worth noting here tonight, Nadine, the Spokane Police Department told me today that the number and the types of service calls that they received from this location in the last year don't stand out as excessive or as abnormal when they compare them to the calls that they usually see from other multi-unit complexes in any other neighborhood. In Spokane tonight, Caroline Rourke, KXOI4 News.
Thank you, Caroline.